I'd like them to find things familiar, despite it being a bit silly and a bit absurd.
Uniforms for Everyday Rituals by artist Sarah Fortais challenges the viewer to examine their perceptions. Sarah, how would you describe your collection here at the Art Gallery?
I'd probably say that it's an absurd series of uniforms that try and make everyday circumstances new again. It's just the idea that if you can change the way you move around in something that you would normally do in a repetitive way, that maybe it'll become interesting again, or maybe you'll snap back into what you're doing and be conscious of what you're doing again.
What is the artistic technique that you're using?
I would call it defamiliarization, which is a rough translation from the work of Victor Shklovsky. And the idea is that if you can make something familiar unfamiliar, you can gain insight on what was originally familiar. So I guess, again, the idea of ritualizing these tasks that you would often forget that you're doing while you're doing them, to bring new insight into maybe the finer movements that you take to complete the tasks.
You've used your brother in your artwork. Can you describe your interaction together?
Sure. It's quite natural. I say it's not much different than when I'm not doing an art project. I think I'm always up to something, and he often has to wear it when I'm done. So this was quite an easy step for him to take as a first-time actor, because I essentially told him to act normal.
Did you receive a lot of support from your friends and family here in Sault Ste. Marie on your journey as an artist?
Definitely. I think, well, actually, I was in the pilot program of the Art Reach project here at the AGA, and Laurie Carlisle was the first person I met through the gallery, and they were really supportive, even though art wasn't what I was planning on doing as a career. Then later on, I went to Western University, and it was Paul Wald, actually, who's another Sault Ste. Marie previous resident, and he really inspired me to take art on full time. So I'd say definitely my parents have been really supportive, as well as my brother, really patient as well.
And finally, what would you want people to come away with that are viewing your art here?
I'd like them to find things familiar, despite it being a bit silly and a bit absurd. I think if they could pick out a location, like something that I've shot in the Soo, or maybe they might recognize Adam, and just kind of be able to take apart the project and see things a little bit differently, I think that would make me really happy.
The art collection of Sarah Fortais will be available to be seen at the Art Gallery of Algoma until March the 1st. For Shaw TV, I'm Ann Gordon-Eyre.